Anthropic is paying Elon Musk's xAI $1.25 billion every single month. That's $42,000 every minute. To their direct competitor. In case you missed it, Anthropic just bought 300 megawatts of compute from xAI's Colossus data center in Memphis. That's the entire output of one of the world's largest AI training facilities. They're locking it in through May 2029. Total value, up to $40 billion. Here's the part that makes no sense on paper. Anthropic and xAI are rivals. Anthropic has Claude. xAI has Grok. They compete directly for the same enterprise customers, the same researchers, the same mind share. And yet Anthropic just handed Musk $15 billion a year. For compute. Because Grok isn't working. The SpaceX IPO filing revealed something striking. Out of 550 million monthly active users across X and Grok combined, only 117 million actually use Grok's AI features. That's 21%. 4 out of 5 users have Grok available and simply don't bother. When you overbuild a data center and nobody's using your product, you have a problem. xAI's losses are extraordinary. $6.4 billion lost in 2025. On just $3.2 billion in revenue. That's double the loss from the prior year, on only modest revenue growth. They burned through $12.7 billion in capital expenditures in 2025. And in just the first quarter of 2026, $7.7 billion more. Annualized, that's over $30 billion a year in capex. xAI built Colossus and Colossus 2, both operational in just over 100 days each, giving them roughly 1 gigawatt of compute. They built it for Grok training. But Grok's user numbers don't justify it. So now they're doing something unexpected, renting it to their competitor. Musk called it monetizing unused compute capacity. Critics call it desperation before an IPO. Meanwhile, Anthropic is about to post its first ever profitable quarter. Revenue reportedly jumping 130% to nearly $11 billion in the second quarter alone. How do you go from unprofitable to profitable fast? Cut your biggest cost, compute, by renting it from your rival at scale. The deal with xAI likely saves Anthropic hundreds of millions per month versus building their own infrastructure. Anthropic is backed by Google to the tune of billions. Google also has Gemini, which competes with both Claude and Grok. So Google is indirectly funding xAI's infrastructure build-out through Anthropic's compute payments. This is the circular dependency at the heart of modern AI. Every company is everyone else's investor, lender, and competitor simultaneously. The timing isn't accidental. SpaceX filed for its IPO with a proposed valuation of $1.75 trillion. The xAI compute business is central to that valuation story. Long-term contracts like the Anthropic deal, even if they're with a competitor, make the revenue stream look more predictable. Stable, recurring enterprise revenue. Exactly what public market investors want to see before buying into a $1.75 trillion valuation. The filing also reveals xAI's roadmap, scale Grok to multiple trillions of parameters. A step change in reasoning and overall intelligence. That will require even more compute. The orbital data centers SpaceX has promised? First deployments planned for 2028. When AI companies talk about vertical integration, owning the model, the data center, the chip design, even the satellites, this is what they mean. Control the physical stack, control the AI era. Here's the paradox. xAI overbuilt because they believed Grok would be bigger than it is. Now they're selling that excess capacity to their competitor, which makes their competitor's AI cheaper to run, which makes Claude more competitive with Grok. In other words, xAI's bet on losing to Anthropic is funding Anthropic's bet on winning against xAI. The AI race isn't just about models. It's about who can afford to lose the most money building infrastructure that might, or might not, pay off in 5 years. Anthropic and xAI are not just rivals. They're codependent. And the strange deal between them tells you everything you need to know about where this industry actually is: spectacular, fragile, and stranger than fiction.